What's up, Rat Pack? It's me, old Matty boy, back again. New episode of Until We Agree. I know what we're all thinking. Matt, you sound a lot better this week than last week, and you're right. I need to tell you something, but first, let Hutch tell you something.
You know what it is now, boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
That's right. Back for a new episode of Until We Agree. My name's Matt, joined as always by Tyler, and I want to start before anything else, Tyler. I want to give an apology for my performance last week because it was obvious I was down and it needs to be addressed. So I wrote this apology and I'm now going to deliver that. Okay? And here it is.
Dear Rat Pack, let's not sugarcoat it. Last episode, I mailed it in. No energy, no originality. At one point, I think I agreed with Tyler on purpose, which is honestly the worst thing I've ever done on this podcast. And I once defended raisins in trail mix. My performance was flatter than Tyler's sense of dramatic pacing and somehow lessens... Wait a second. Then his deep thoughts about cereal? Okay. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. But Matt, you're usually the one carrying this unhinged logic and righteous indignation. Yeah, I know, and I let you down. Did you just your own apology speech?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, this is still Matt.
I mean, my own. I mean, well, your own, but then it's my own. And now in the lowest moment of all, I've turned to ChatGPT. Yes, little Sea Dog himself to write this apology. That's right, I'm Matt, the guy who just swore off shortcuts and using the digital ghost of the internet to help me say I'm done using shortcuts. Hypocrisy? Sure. Necessary? Absolutely. Because I needed help finding the words that match the level of disappointment I feel in myself. This is so long. And the level of greatness I know this rat-filled podcast deserves. So here's the plan, or here it is, plain and ratty. Plain and ratty? Do people say that? I will not take shortcuts. I will not recycle my mistakes. I will not cuss off Tyler's second-handed opinions, even when he acts like he thought of them first. I will not pretend the idea that pops into my head is a good idea. I'm drifting back into my own voice because your impression is hard to do. Mm-hmm. And I will not ever again outsource my passion for this show. From here on out, the chaos will be all mine, or will be mine. The arguments will be mine. The overcomplicated analogies and dumb analog clocks metaphors, all mine. This is my solemn vow to you, the Rat Pack. The originality starts now. What I'm noticing, though...
Dude, you know what I'm noticing?
Apologize to me.
You know what I'm noticing? Yeah.
Well, right after this message that was written by Sea Dog, rat emoji. Forgive me. hold me accountable. And please never let Tyler think he won anything because of this. Matt. I'm sorry, Matt.
There it is. I have two notes, and it sounds like I'm about to have a third because.
Let me know if you want to record this as dramatic monologue background music suggestions. I'm ready for the full redemption arc.
You don't have to read that part. Okay, note one. That was a great impression of me. Note two.
Thank you.
You may be competing for the worst reader who's ever been on this podcast before, because.
It's not that. It's like none of this made any sense.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately, yeah. I just heard some thunder too. Why don't you go step outside with a metal rod, by the way?
Sorry, my power just cut out, so I didn't know if I was still here. Okay. What were we talking about? Yeah. Sorry. Say what you just said again. I wasn't listening.
Go step out into a metal rod?
No, I heard that. No, I did hear that part before that.
What did I say? Oh, that it's just
I don't know if it matters.
It's not natural. This is obviously written by ChatGPT and unnatural to read because nobody would ever talk like this, especially not you.
Okay, but I'm just asking you to read words that are in front of you, and that seemed like where the struggle was at. Not so much.
Well, I didn't need
emotion. I didn't need acting. I just needed you to read that. I
was also channeling my impression of you, which was spot on, and I think that's a ruse in and of itself.
Yeah.
And so reading while keeping up the ruse is pretty tough, I would say.
No, and your only good point is that was a spot on impression of me. So that's fine, and I'm ready to move on. I think we're all ready to move on from last week.
I think so. Let's get it kicking.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Okay.
Go ahead. Thank me.
Thank you for all the work you did one time in the 72 episodes of this podcast to help me be bolstered for once.
And you're so welcome. And so I have a question for you. It's been burning my mind since earlier today when I texted you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand on euthanasia?
And when you say euthanasia, what do you mean by that?
Just where do you stand on it? Because I'll say it. I'm for it.
Yeah, I think I probably am too, because
really,
that's the next generation, you know?
How did you know that that's where I was going with this?
What do you mean? You're asking about euthanasia.
Yeah, the euthanasia.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think they're making great strides, and they're on the cutting edge of culture. So I have no complaints there. That's
kind of what I was gonna say. I was thinking that you maybe would be against it due to the spelling of it in the agenda, but
oh, I see what you're saying. You spelled euthanasia.
Yeah,
it sounds like we're on the same page for that. You meant euthanasia, and you didn't mean euthanasia like the act of killing old dogs.
Right. No, that's not. I thought that's how you would take it. And I was gonna.
Well, it's interesting.
I was gonna wait for you to say you were against it, and then say why do you hate the youth in Asia? But
no, and I would never
to have jumped ahead of that, and we're on the same page on the youth in Asia.
Maybe last week you would have got me, but my mind has never felt sharper. And I know I stuttered 3 times there, but that doesn't have anything to do with my mind. That has to do with my mouth.
Right. That's because you're thinking so far ahead.
Right. Exactly. My brain is working so much faster than my tongue is. You know how it is.
You see the youth in Asia as they're grown up now already.
Let me put you on to Lebanon for a second. That's Asia. I know you may not think so. That's Asia.
No, I do think so. I know how Asia works. It's more than just China.
They're faithful listeners, and I fully support that, and that's awesome. It is
Many
interesting.
People think that it's just China, and it's just not. It's not true.
I would love if you leave a comment on Spotify if you're listening. If you think that the euthanasia just has to do with China, that's I think highly more highly
Hillary.
of. Remember when she ran for president?
Yeah. No, and I think a lot of the reason she lost was because of the euthanasia.
Sure. What were we? Oh yeah. On the point of euthanasia, spelled with an E at the beginning, I don't know if I'm necessarily against that either, and I'm not sure why you would be, because I've had a dog, and this dog was old and sick and gangly. That dog would have lasted for a couple more months, I bet, for sure. But she was sick, and it was her time, so we euthanized her. But she lived a long, happy life, you know?
See, so that's what I don't understand. Why not euthanize her where you make her younger again instead of euthanizing her where you kill her?
And you know what? Maybe it's because I was just a child, and maybe
you're unfamiliar with the technology, and maybe the similarity of the words confuse you. But it feels like euthanizing something, the act of making young again, would be much better than euthanizing the act of killing, in my opinion.
I'm not ready to agree with you, because I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think you're making valid points for sure. Thank you for.
It might be a technology problem. I'm not sure. But
yeah, and I want to thank you for asking this question. This has been really good for us. Do you want to name those last 50 women, by the way? You only got halfway there last week.
No, and yeah. I think everybody gets the point that.
Yeah.
I actually named them off air afterwards in my head. Okay.
Yeah,
I've got an extensive list that I would hate to drudge up now.
It's boundless.
But I see there's another thing that you wanted to talk about. River is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
River.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you about this. This is something I've prepared, but I haven't really prepared. So,
okay.
This is kind of one of my big points for the day is how do rivers work? And I think you and I both have like a general idea, but I don't think we have it all pinned down yet.
Bro. You're not.
This is pure water cycle, so I have a good understanding of it. But I would like for you to explain it to me how rivers work from like conception through the end of them.
So rivers are crazy, man. Mm-hmm. Like water gets collected and then flows to bigger water, right?
And so that's the part I don't get. I was thinking about actually let me take you a step back, because this whole thought happened with Niagara Falls. This is really something I want to really get off my chest more than anything else. What is the big deal with Niagara, pardon my language, freaking falls? Like, what are we doing there?
Are you serious?
Yeah, tell me. Okay,
have you not watched The Office?
Yeah, I've seen The Office. That's Yeah.
Niagara
What's your
Falls
point?
as featured in The Office?
Yeah, from hit TV show NBC sitcom The Office. That's the Niagara Falls I'm talking about.
That's the claim to fame. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a big deal.
If that's it, then maybe I can get on board with that. But like, it seems like a lot of people are going to visit there, and I was this is kind of the track my mind went down, because my mind, if you hadn't heard, is sharp as a tack right now. Right. So I saw like a short clip of Niagara Falls falling, the waterfalls, and I was like, this doesn't seem that impressive, because when you think about like probably the most famous waterfall, at least in our world, like in our culture, like. That's if you say name me a waterfall right now, you're naming that one probably, if not first, you're naming it second. You know, I don't know if I could name a second waterfall off the top of my head before today, like quickly. And then I like hear one, I'm like, yeah, that's a waterfall. I've heard of that. But this waterfall is like nothing. It's so lame. You know, there's like two.
Have you been?
No, I just saw the clip. It's 300. Okay, the highest point of falling is 325 feet.
That's a lot of feet.
What if I told you, though, that the highest waterfall in the entire world is close to 2,800 feet?
And I'm hearing you, but what if, like, I don't know what that looks like, but I would guess, I think the allure of Niagara Falls is not only how tall it is, but how wide it is and how much water is dropping at once. Whereas a lot of those tall waterfalls are just like little, like, spouts of water.
Yeah, but why do I care about water falling at once? I care about height over anything else. I'm 6 foot tall. You're 5'9", so maybe that's why you're taking this approach. But from my perspective, I couldn't care less about how much water is falling. I know it comes from a river, you know, or a lake, a basin. I don't know exactly, but who cares about that? I want to hear about record breaking stuff. You know,
I would say that it could be record breaking. I don't know the exact numbers, but like, what if that's the most amount of airborne water at one time falling in a downward direction towards a different water source?
No, I don't think so, loser.
That's probably wrong.
I feel like we're guessing a lot, and I feel like we're arguing about a fact that can be proven.
I feel like all we did was we put a bunch of casinos near a waterfall and said, yeah, this is a place where people should go visit, and that's all that happened. But that's not my main point. That is just what got me kicked off on rivers in general.
Rivers, right.
I was thinking about the Mississippi River. You're telling me that the Mississippi River just starts some random place in like what, Minnesota or something, and then it becomes the grandest river in the whole country, and it flows in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's at some points like half a mile wide. Where is all that water coming from, and how is it flowing there? I just don't get it. And I'm the water cycle guy, and I'm like, we're just getting a bunch of water from the ground. It's just, how is it? And
I think,
and how does it even start?
Elevation though. It's just elevation. That's all it is, right?
Is it though? Because I think it starts like in a flat area, doesn't it?
Relatively flat, but like over time, I would think it funnels to sea level, which is where it goes.
Sure, and I would agree with you. It funnels to sea level.
There's one river that goes north, right? One of those goes north. I don't know which one.
I think plenty of rivers can go north. It's about where they fall down to. If you're on a mountain, and this feels totally right, but now that I'm saying it, it feels totally wrong. Can rivers not flow north? Like, what if your nearest point to an ocean is north of you, and you're on a mountaintop that has a
no, it can flow north, but I think there's one in America that flows north, is there not? And that's like what's weird, is because there's no body of water that it typically would flow.
I think maybe what I'm getting confused on is, I don't know, man. You're actually breaking my brain with that. I'm getting confused on the source of rivers. Like, I get that some river, like, you're telling me that some rivers are just melted snow and that becomes the entire river? Like, that's crazy to me. And then I still don't even know what happens with the Mississippi. That one's what's blowing my mind. It just starts in like a field or something, I think. And how do we collect enough water in that field? I think it just starts in a field.
Lake?
I can't imagine. Well, but then that lake at some point that lake was not full of water. That lake had to fill up. And how does it keep filling up? Lakes are weird too, because how do they keep filling up?
It's the water cycle. We've been over this. It's rain.
No, but how is there that much going to that one spot? You know, that's what I don't get. Are there? But because then
Isn't
it's like
it the type of ground, and then mixed with like the like it has to be able to hold the water without it just seeping into the ground. There might be rock under the
perhaps
under the mud, and then also it would have to be bowl shaped in some way.
Yeah. All I'm thinking about though is how are we making enough water all the time in that source to fund the entire Mississippi River? Because if you think about it, if there's like another river that's pouring into that lake, that's just that then is just more of the Mississippi River. You know, I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't want to look it up because I want to hash it out with you for a sec first. Where is that? How are we getting that much water? Have you seen the Mississippi River? Not with your eyes, but just in life and like in media or something.
I've driven over. I mean, actually, now that
you did drive over it, you moved across the Mississippi.
I did, but I didn't pay, a ton of attention to it as I drove over in my U-Haul.
Can I give you an adjective that I felt when I saw it?
Large,
grandiose.
Whimsy? Okay. I mean,
start using that word.
Okay,
more.
I'm looking at pictures. I mean, it's big. It's a
huge.
big river.
It's huge, and even if it was small, where is all that water coming from? The water cycle is not. And I will live and die by the water cycle.
You know what I mean?
I know, man,
but just so much water.
And can you answer this for me too? Because we replace so much water, we also consume a lot of water. We use a lot of water to like power our grids and do all this stuff.
We do that,
and and obviously we recycle it. But tell me if I'm wrong on this. When it like rains in the ocean, obviously we can't drink ocean water. But it feels like we can evaporate ocean water, and it's not. We don't bring the salt with it. We just bring the hydrogen and oxygen, and then we can use that water more. Is that true, or do we just once it goes in the ocean, it's just ocean water forever?
I'm sure you can filter ocean water. I don't know how. It probably has to go through a filtration system of some sort.
But then
I don't
why do
think
we
you
care
can just
so much about
evaporate it?
But like,
because if you evaporate it, the water's gone, and then
I'm
there's
talking about
salt
clouds,
in there.
bro. I'm talking about
Salt's
clouds,
another.
bro.
What are you talking about? Clouds.
That's how rain works. Is
I know it evaporates into the clouds, and then what?
And then it creates condensation or precipitation, and then falls back to Earth. That's how the water cycle works. That's how we can keep using water and over and over again. But
why is that? What does that have to do with drinking water?
Can I put you on a urine for 1 second?
Okay. Yes. I'm partially aware.
Okay. That's a lot of there's water in that too, and if you, I don't want, this is kind of gross to think about. At some point, I bet most of the water we drink was urine at some point, and then it got evaporated into the sky as just hydrogen and oxygen. I think this is true, and then it just falls again.
I mean, I'm sure that there's traces, but I think you're underestimating the just amount.
I'm not worried
water.
I'm not worried about there being traces of urine in rain. I'm not bothered by that. But I'm just asking if that's how it works. Everything that like we mix, like every water gets mixed with everything. And if we keep reusing it, like even water that's like dirty in like a lake that gets evaporated, there's like dirt particles and like bacteria and stuff in that. But I think what we're missing here is I think evaporation is only hydrogen and oxygen, is it not?
I mean, I can't speak to that, but it definitely doesn't pull the bacteria up with it. It would just be the water molecules, I believe.
Right, which is just two
H2
elements.
H2 and O.
Yeah. So I think that's all that happens. So I think maybe it's like harder to evaporate ocean water because it's maybe like heavier or something. And so but like there so much of the earth is covered in water. We're losing a lot of fresh water when it rains in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and without a human being within 300 miles of that point of rain. You know, why is it raining over there? There's no point of that.
You would call rainwater fresh water? I don't think that's true.
Yes, bro. Let me put you on okay. So the water cycle. The water cycle starts when someone drinks water. That is the beginning of the water cycle.
Okay, this is a chicken or the egg situation. Because they have to get the water from somewhere, right?
Right. And so, it's a cycle. So actually you can pick anywhere to start explaining. That was just what I was doing back there was a joke. But truly you could start the water cycle there. Water is on Earth at some point. It's on the land or it's in a body of water, and then it's collected or it's consumed by like a fish or something, or it's not consumed at all and it just falls to the earth.
I'm sorry,
and then it just falls to the earth.
Think fish drink water? Just checking.
They would have to at some point. Yeah. I think they're constantly drinking water. How would they not be able, how would they not? I think their whole body is full of water. I know what you're probably, and then you're thinking of gills. Gills are different. Gills are how they filter oxygen out so they can breathe underwater, but they're still drinking more water. Like they have to. How would they not be?
I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure they have to interact with water in some way. And yeah, they probably drink it, but I think you're thinking of fish drinking water in the same way that humans drink water.
Okay, I'm not, because I know fish don't have like glasses or a wall of water bottles. So no, I'm
They
not.
definitely
thinking of
don't.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
They're not carrying around their Yetis.
Yeah. So all you just did there, all those words you just said, were just agreeing with me. So what's your actual point?
What do you mean?
I love this podcast, man. I can't believe I was sad for 1 week. What do I mean is water cycle, bro. Water cycle. So we put water in milk. Milk makes soup. We put water in cup. We drink water. Then it filters through our body. So in a way, we kind of do drink water the same way fish do. Our gills are just kidneys. So there's a point there.
Well, water. Whoa.
Yes.
Fish don't drink through their gills.
Yeah, they drink through their mouth. I know that, but they filter.
What? Bro, what?
You're about to tell me that fish don't consume water through their mouth? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, there might be some that do, but isn't this what? Bro, let me put you onto osmosis for a second.
Yeah.
Isn't this where osmosis comes into play?
Yeah.
They just absorb it, right?
It has to go through their gills.
I'm not a left field on here. I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
You're not even in left field. You're like in the parking lot looking at your car after it got hit by a foul ball.
I'm almost sure that's true.
I'm almost sure it's
gulping water as they swim through.
Is that you say they are or they aren't?
There's no way they're just gulping water as they swim through water.
But water is getting into their mouth. No, bro, it goes through their gills. It has to go out of their gills.
It does not go through their gills. That's how they breathe.
Yes, that's exact. Yes. What do you mean? Yes.
They don't breathe water. Fish don't breathe water, right?
They breathe oxygen. I know that. That's what I'm saying. They filter the water through their gills. About water. They filter oxygen through their gills. They're also living in water, so they're consuming water. I don't know. Like, what are you talking about right now?
But that's not how they use water to power their bodies.
Yeah, obviously
that's not how they hydrate.
I get that. They live in water. I get that. They eat plankton. That's probably how they hydrate. I don't know, bro.
No, that's not how they hydrate. I told you it's osmosis, bro. I'm pretty sure it's osmosis.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not talking about osmosis.
Bro,
that has nothing to do with the. That's nothing to do with the
you
water
probably didn't take
cycle.
marine ecology, did you?
Bro, no, that's not a real class. That's
that
not
is
a real
class that I took, bro.
I was busy taking AP classes, and I was busy getting a job. I was busy.
And look how that worked
degree.
out for you. You don't even know about osmosis.
I don't have to, because that has nothing to do with the water cycle. That has to do with fish. That has to do with
quite
fish
literally
life.
does.
So I have Crohn's
water.
disease. I have Crohn's disease.
Absorb water.
I have Crohn's disease, so consuming fish actually hurts my tummy pretty bad. So I actually stay away from that. So I'm not engulfed in fish culture. I tried to catch a fish once in my entire life, and I got one bite, and then it swam away, and I never caught a stupid fish. I don't care about fish. Fish infuriate me. I don't care about how they're absorbing nutrients through osmosis. That's not what I'm talking about, because the water is still just there. They're not displacing water. They're just using water that's passing through them. And that's what you're saying. That's fine. That has nothing to do with the fact that when we drink water, we urinate it out, and then it becomes more water that then gets evaporated and then falls back to the ground.
Do you have a thing for urine? You keep saying something.
No, I don't have a thing for urine. It's just a real thing that happens.
Dude, you're gross.
Yeah, I'm the gross one. Yeah,
Grow
I'm
up.
the gross. Let me think of something gross that you do. Don't I? I have like 30 pictures of your feet in my camera roll right now, but I'm the gross one.
Dude, I think you just proved my point, man.
I guess it depends on who took the pictures, but we don't have to
mostly
get into
you
that.
doing
Okay,
screenshots over FaceTime.
Big deal. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the water cycle.
You brought it up.
Can I actually talk to you about something else?
Yeah, man.
So, on Instagram, we have an Instagram account that we share jointly. Tyler posts about one story a month. I post all the other content,
yes,
and all the other stories, and then I make sure that the Rat Pack knows that we are still posting episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts that you're listening to right now. I'm engaging with the audience. I'm collecting new followers. I'm increasing our reach. I'm managing even our TikTok account. I'm managing our email for when we get sponsors requested.
So I'm doing get it.
Yeah, so I'm doing all that. And one thing I did in the last week was I put up a story on our Instagram at Until We Agree, where you can also find us on TikTok at Until We Agree. We're trying to get sponsored on those, by the way. Maybe not like sponsored for money, but sponsored for like getting delivered free stuff, because we're at a point where we're getting thousands of views per post, and I think we're ready for that. So if you're listening and you're a sponsor and you want to just give us free stuff, we don't need money right now. We're just looking to incorporate your product in our vision of our content creation.
We would love some assets.
Yeah, we don't want to be liquid.
Put that on the
we want to
balance
be
sheet. A couple of assets on the balance sheet. Are you serious?
We just want to have physical goods. We want commodity. And so if you have commodity to share with us, we'll put it on full display. And again, we're getting literally thousands of views on every reel and every TikTok we're posting. It's unreal. It's been a fun ride. So join that if you're a sponsor listening in. But I posted on Instagram, Hey Dude, the Hey Dude shoe. Are you familiar with the Hey Dude shoe?
I am. This made me think, as I saw this post and I voted, and then I had something before you get into your thing just to ask you.
Yeah.
Hey Dude son or Stanley daughter?
It has to be Stanley daughter. With the direction I'm about to take this, it has to be Stanley daughter.
I think it does too.
So what's interesting about that though is I've seen like maybe like 2 people my age with Hey Dudes, and maybe like out in the wild I've seen more. I feel like at like Disney World a lot of men are wearing Hey Dudes, like places like that where like they need to be on their feet for a while, but they also don't have to be like, you know how men work in factories and like blue collar jobs, and they have to wear like steel toe boots that are like also supportive of their arches so they can keep working blue collar jobs for 50 years and then they die. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I think so. I guess.
So
Kind of sad, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just life. And then on their free time, like they're wearing Hey Dudes. So what I know about Hey Dude shoes is they're comfortable.
They're light. I know they're light.
They're light. And that's all I can say about them that are good. And I had a feeling that when I posted this, people were going to be supportive of it. And the poll ended up actually being a 50-50 split between liking Hey Dude shoes and not liking Hey Dude shoes. I'm trying to remain composed right now because I feel like I'm about to ramp up, because these shoes, again, part of my language, permission to cuss.
Permission granted.
These shoes tick me off. They are the dumbest looking shoe with the dumbest name that panders to just I hate everything about these shoes. And I'm sure they're comfortable. And if they were comfortable and they look like that, maybe I could let it slide. Because like good brands are also making ugly shoes sometimes, and I'm okay with that. I'm not even a shoe guy. But when I look at it, really might just be the name of the shoe. When I look at the name Hey Dude, it just like it makes me cringe, and it makes me like furious that they're getting away with it. And that might be like a little harsh, but I hate it. I hate the branding of those shoes. And then maybe if they were like the coolest shoes I've ever seen, like maybe, but you know, with a name like Hey Dude shoes, they're not good. They're not going to be cool. They're going to look like exactly like they look like. And that's what's frustrating about it. They're ugly, but people like them. Like Crocs, from like a scoped out view, Crocs are ugly. But like I'm almost fine with it because like they're accepting who they are, and they're named after what they look like, and that's kind of fun.
I know exactly the issue.
Yeah, lay it on.
I'm looking at some online, and it seems like their lowest size is a 7. Is this where this comes from? Did you want a 6?
It's just a place of jealousy.
Yeah, and you can't get them, and so now you're lashing out against Hey Dude.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the product at all, besides the fact that I can't fit them on my dainty feet.
Now, and maybe that's why this has a work shoe with 3.5 stars.
Only 3. That doesn't feel good to me though. For a work shoe,
no,
a work shoe has to accomplish. A work shoe literally has to accomplish one thing, and that's to keep your toes on if like a saw drops on your feet. You know.
Yeah. From what I understand about Hey Dudes, they're not doing that.
And if that's happening, if you drop a saw on your feet 3 times out of 5, and your toes are falling off 3 times out of 5, that's not a good look.
Oh, you're not gonna believe this review I just found.
Okay. Lay it on me.
I dropped a saw on my foot 3 times. I now only have 2 toes. It's crazy. What's
it's crazy. They are getting away with frankly probably something criminal at the very least, and at the very most. People are buying these shoes and wearing them, hoping that hoping that is increasing their personal image. They're buying those shoes.
I will say this review is 2 stars, but it's because small and narrow. So maybe you would like these.
That actually sounds like it would be perfect for me. I could maybe fit into a 7 if I wanted to look like a clown at a clown college, maybe.
Right. I would not order again because I did not receive what I bought. Okay, that's not really a review on the shoe. That's more of a
That's a supply chain
logistical
thing.
error.
Yeah. And I major in supply chain management, and so I will always take the supply chain side. I'll never take the consumer side. So, hey, dude, 1 point for Hey Dude for having a good supply chain. I promise you that.
This person said 1 star. Don't buy. Not what I thought I ordered. These are steel toe. Okay.
Are you just looking at the
improvement? 2 stars. I wore these shoes in a combination of a warehouse and a tractor trailer delivery driving. They are not as comfortable as regular Hey Dudes and lack of support. My feet kill me, and at the end of 8 to 10 hour shifts. So that goes back to what you were saying. These factory jobs, man, they just can't. And especially the working Hey Dudes.
We can double not endorse working Hey Dudes. I was coming into this with just like talking about casual Hey Dudes, like the ones people wear out and about. But it sounds like this is a fraudulent brand that's trying to reach their audience, which is not believing in them because they're making a subpar product. And that makes sense because they're a subpar brand with a subpar name, a name so subpar it would exist in the Earth's core because it's so subpar.
So subpar that it'd win every major in PGA golf.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fix that for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll say it. That was my first miss of the day right there. So I appreciate you having my back there. But
I got you, man.
Yeah, so that's my take on Hey Dudes. Going back to what we said earlier, Hey Dudes, if you want to try to make us a believer, we don't want your money. We just want some of your product, and because we're gonna give an honest review if we get our hands on some of these shoes. But from what I've seen and from that stupid logo with that stupid name, I'm not ready to be convinced.
Yeah, it is a very unoriginal logo. It's just like Hey Dude on a shape.
Yeah, they're catering to dads. And that's kind of frustrating.
Does your dad wear Hey Dudes?
No, but I feel like if given some, he would never take them off.
He'd sleep in Hey Dudes.
Dude, he probably would. My dad's not a bit. I shouldn't. I shouldn't get. Yeah. So that's all I had to say on Hey Dude. That's all I had to say on Hey Dude.
Is he not a big sneakerhead? Is that what you're gonna say?
Not a big sneakerhead, that's for sure. But he also like. I don't know, man.
That's all right. I'm gonna send him a pair of Hey Dudes and see if he shows up to the Cal Boogie Sound with him in a couple months.
Yeah, dude. No, he would never. He would be in the ocean with Hey Dudes on. he would eat those things up, and that's sad because like what I've started to do during Christmas is what I get him every year is just like something cool to wear, just to kind of keep him up to date like a little bit. And I feel like that could all be derailed. Imagine he shows up in one of my cashmere sweaters I got him once, and then he's wearing Hey Dudes on the dogs. That would frustrate me to no end. So maybe don't send him the Hey Dudes, and let's keep him and all dads far away from that brand going forward. We can find better. I know it.
Would you like to hear another 1-star review of the standard Hey Dude?
Yeah, give me one standard Hey Dude 1-star review. I need that to kind of feed my soul.
1 star. I'd love to wear them. Ordered them but never received them. Was told they were out. It's just 1 star because you love to wear the shoe, but you just can't.
He's yearning so bad. He's yearning so bad. I know. I'm giving a real 1-star review live on air, and that's just because I've never got to put those bad boys on my Tootsies.
The same thing. 1 star, and it just says maybe. Order was canceled due to selling out.
There's that's crazy they're selling out of those bad boys. But that's crazy.
Again, 1 star, order canceled. I never even received these. So I don't know how they are. My order was canceled without explanation.
That's so funny, man. That's so funny. And even the one thing I was trying to give them credit for, it sounds like they're just actually that bad at supply chaining these shoes. But that's okay.
Here's one. Okay. One final one. This is a person who has received the shoe. They said, blah. These shoes are disappointing. The thin soles do not provide the support I expected. The sizes run smaller. When ordering, you should order the next size up. They are overpriced. So we were right all along, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and on the shoe, you declare, "Hey, dude," to everyone you walk by. That's on every pair of shoes. Those words are on every pair of shoes. And if
it's like light up shoes from when you were a kid, but every step it just goes, "Hey, dude."
Just like that. So yeah, go get yourself a pair of Hey Dudes. If that sounds good to you, go check out Hey Dudes. Not sponsored, by the way. Okay, my last topic I wanted to talk to you about. This is a quickie. I just wanted to jump in here, and I wanted to talk to you about marriage for a second.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, I said okay. I'm ready to talk about.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Yeah. So okay, marriage is great. marriage has been a real life changer for me, and I have no complaints about it. And I want to talk to you about one perk that's exceptional that I did not see coming. And it is,
Let's hear it.
you get to learn from your spouse. And my wife Brittany is so smart, and beyond being smart, she is truly more wise than she is smart. But that's not a bad thing. I would rather be more wise than smart too. Unfortunately, I'm cursed with the burden of trivial knowledge,
Of genius,
and of administrative genius, and that's something that I live
and a
with.
lack
And
for words.
that don't I know it. So Brittany has taught me a lot just in the way she lives her life, and it's really pretty inspirational, and she's fantastic. She's great. One thing that I was doing for years when I finally spread my wings and moved out of my parents' house and went on my own way and started cooking meals for myself, doing all this, pots and pans. When you cook, you gotta use pots and pans to make things. Well-known fact about me: every Monday I would make spaghetti in a pot and a pan, because you put the noodles in the bigger pot, and then you put the meat in a smaller pot.
Now, name
That's
the
two
last
pots right
Monday
there.
that you've done that. Name the last Monday you've done that.
It's been a minute since I did it on a Monday.
And
Spaghetti isn't our
You've changed.
Spaghetti is in our marital rotation. It's in the rotation this week, so spaghetti is going to happen. I have changed, and again, what I'm trying to say is I've changed for the better. This is truly something that I learned that you can just do, because what I was doing before, I'll tell you what I'm doing now, because Brittany was just doing this, and I was like, that's crazy. She just puts like pots just in the dishwasher to let the dishwasher clean them. Had no idea you were allowed to do that. I was hand washing.
Why would you not be allowed to do that?
hand-washing.
I don't think this is a marriage issue. I think this is a you issue.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's a marriage issue. I'm saying that is something that if I wasn't married, I would have never learned that this was like an okay and like even a good thing to do, because it saves me so much time. And like when you buy like dishwasher pods and dishwasher detergent, you get like a lot of it. And so you don't even have to get that much. Like you buy dishwasher detergent like maybe twice a year, when we're putting all these pots and pans in. And it's like, at first I started feeling bad. I was like, wow, we've run the dishwasher 2 times this week. I used to only wash it once a week, maybe once every 10 days, because I was living alone. I was hand washing my pots and pans every time I was cooking. It was blowing my mind. You just put a dishwasher pod in there and you're done. And then you just take them out and you put them in the cabinet, and then they're ready to be used again. It's crazy.
No, I hate to say it, but I think most people are going to be shocked that you were shocked by this. I think.
Bro, I'm just trying to endorse marriage.
When you pick up a new pot, a new pan, a new plate, a new fork, anything, usually it says whether it's dishwasher safe or not. And at this point in our lives, I think most things are dishwasher safe.
I know, but I just thought it was like I really just thought it took up too much space. It felt wrong to be using the dishwasher that much, but it's not. And here's another thing: dishwashers don't even use that much water. I know it gets back into the water cycle, which we don't have to hash out again. But like we're not even using that much water.
Big dishwasher has their hold on Matt.
They've gotten to me. They've gotten to me, and I'm threatened by them. And so I'm only going to say good, positive things about them. And I'm going to keep washing pots and pans, because that's an absolute game changer. And I love my wife. There, I said it. And that's something that she has let me grow into as a person. And that's what marriage is all about. I would love to think that I've influenced her. Oh, yeah, man.
No, why don't you tell us how you've influenced her? I'm sure this is gonna be really meaningful.
I'm sure I don't think I have. Sometimes she says words funny, and that makes me think that I've influenced her in that way only. But speaking of loving your wife, go ahead. What were you saying? Dude. I don't know, man. I've kind of been talking a lot today, so I don't know.
Dude, that's true.
I haven't let my brain.
Let me go for it. I watched 17 again last night.
Yeah, man.
You seen it?
Weird one when you think about it. Yeah. Oh,
Weird,
Zac Efron.
for sure. Did you see my review for it?
Yeah. Oh no. Let me look it up and do an impression of you reviewing this movie, because you already got to do one of me.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen it in a really long time. First of all, it's a star-studded cast. It's insane.
Yeah, it's unreal. Okay.
We have
only 2 stars though. Crazy.
Yeah, it's all right.
Imagine waking up as Zac Efron, and then you go back to being old and crusty, and you're happy about it. That's love, I guess. Sorry, I zoned out. Let me read it again as myself. Imagine waking up as Zac Efron, then you go back to being old and crusty, and you're happy about it. That's love, I guess. Bro, that is love, I guess. That's
And that's
actually
a
the
great
entire point
review
of the story.
movie. Right. So first,
What do you mean?
rest in peace to two of the cast members. You know who they are?
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Matthew Perry and Michelle Trachtenberg.
Michelle Trachtenberg is in that?
Yeah, she's the daughter
From Eurotrip's Eurotrip?
from Eurotrip to
Is
Eurotrip.
she really?
Yes. And the son is in all kinds of Disney movies. He was in like Sunny with a Chance. That's a show, but he was in that. And then
Sure.
some other things that
Is
you
that,
know him
I have a
from,
feeling,
but I
is
can't
that like,
remember.
is that Sterling Knight?
Yes, that is
Was that
Sterling Knight. You know
yeah,
Sterling
from
Knight.
he was the pop star in that one pop star movie.
Yes.
With, that wasn't Sabrina Carpenter, was it? It was another
I
blonde
don't
girl from
think
Disney.
so. I think that was before Sabrina Carpenter.
It was one of those blonde ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, insane cast. But yeah, I think I forgot that
Well,
was
wait,
Matthew
wait,
Perry
then
too. But
the
yeah,
principal is Jan from The Office.
yeah.
And then
Give me one more known character.
Jim
in this movie.
Gaffigan is the head basketball coach.
Well-known comedian. Yeah. For some reason I'm imagining the guy from Ant-Man who's like Paul Rudd's friend who like has the van.
I don't know. Let me see.
Maybe not.
It might be him. I just don't know. Let's see. Who is that? I haven't seen
This guy doesn't know
Ant-Man.
movies is the problem too.
I haven't seen Ant-Man.
No, he's not in it. He's not in it.
There's
Yeah,
another
actually,
famous guy that people
now that I'm
would
looking at
know.
Can I put you onto the fact that this movie's not that star-studded? I know you said it.
It
Now I'm
is,
looking
though.
at the names.
It literally is. Thomas Lennon, people know him. He's in a lot of stuff.
I've
People know him.
never seen him in
We
anything.
know-
Oh, he's in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. No way. Yeah,
people
he's
know
great.
him. Michelle Trachtenberg again. Alice Miller. Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann is the mom.
He like plays like the most sixth famous person.
Leslie
in
Mann
everything
is the
he's in,
mom,
though.
right?
Yeah, Leslie
Kat
Mann's a big get.
Graham.
That's a big one.
She's from the Vampire Diaries, allegedly. Kat Graham, everybody.
Yeah, you're naming you're naming people for sure. That's a good one. I don't
Nicole
mind that one.
Sullivan. She's in like all kinds of stuff. She was in King of the
Dude.
Hill, and by King of the Hill I mean
Yeah,
King of
great, man.
Queens. And
Yeah, great, man.
bro, she's in Kim Possible. You've ever heard of Kim Possible?
Yeah, not big. I know those are like big to us because we were children and those were on TV, but those aren't star-studded TV shows that someone would be on. But can I put you on a movie that I saw this week with some of our favorite people, Rachel McAdams from Wedding Crashers and Rachel McAdams from what else is she in? She's in another one of those that we like.
The Notebook.
Maybe not.
Rachel McAdams from The Notebook.
Yeah, she's
Rachel
from The
McAdams
Notebook,
From
yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's in other stuff. I'm trying to think of other Wedding Crasher type movies, and maybe she's not in any. Oh, she's in Midnight in Paris with Owen Wilson, rehashing their romance. But her and then
Rachel McAdams
who's
from
the
Mean
pointiest
Girls.
faced man? Give me the pointiest faced man you've ever heard of.
The pointiest face man. I mean, I know he's in
Who
the
has the
movie,
pointiest-
but that does not click to me. What you just said.
Cillian Murphy has the
That's
pointiest
not
face
clocking
in the
to
world.
me, but I know who you're talking about. Yes, Cillian Murphy.
Yes. Okay. Look at his face for 1 second and you say that's a pointy face. They're in this movie together, released the same year as Wedding Crashers, 2005, called Red Eye. Unreal. The budget is like $38, but it's so much fun. It's about her like having to do stuff for this terrorist organization that he's a part of because she has that power, and then it's unreal. And then there's an RPG in it, and it blows up a hotel. It's unreal for $38. Now that's a movie. Go check that out. Red Eye. That is better than 17 Again. I will say that. But 17 Again is fun. Can I? Oh, dude, we haven't done Q&A. I was trying to wrap up this episode.
Let's do Q&A. Let's do Q&A.
Kim wants to know, and if you want to be like Kim, leave a comment on Spotify or just anywhere, leave a question and we'll answer it. So Kim asks, what's the craziest thing you can remember driving past on a highway? And my answer has to do with you, if that's okay.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Well, first, the one time I drove past you being pulled over by the police officer in Austin, Texas, because you were committing fraudulent activities and reckless driving.
That did not
But that was
happen.
one story. Or you do 73 and a 70.
You did not.
That was pretty messed up by you.
Past me while that was.
I know, bro. Obviously not. That's not the one I'm talking
Bro,
about.
that joke.
Okay.
That joke was not true, and I want everybody to know it.
Okay, man. This part
Q&A
is
serious.
true.
Q&A serious, and
Yeah,
you
Q&A
take
is
it
real. You're right. Sorry. So back in 2020, when we were driving up to look at apartments to live in Nashville, Tennessee together.
Yes.
We were driving separately, but we were right next to each other. And we were talking on the phone for the entire 2.5 hours to 3 hour
I
drive
remember this.
up to Nashville from Knoxville. and we were on the phone.
This was gonna be my answer.
And was it okay? Well, I have like a funny memory from that story, but what's not funny, everyone was fine because we saw the guy whose truck caught on fire, but this truck was on fire. He was far away from the truck that had caught on fire, and everything was fine. There was no sense of urgency to save lives. Everything was fine. Huge fire. It's and it was like
it was on the
like
news
roaring.
later that night. Yeah.
Yeah. It had just happened like maybe 5 minutes before we passed it, so it was fully engulfed. No fire trucks or anything. But what I remember, I was on the phone. I think I was like slightly ahead of you, and I go, dude, there's a whole semi truck on fire right here. I just drove by it, and you're about to. And then I go, this is like the most vivid memory I have from it. I go, right when I drove past it, I got hit with like the waves of heat that happen when you get close to fire.
Mm-hmm.
I go, dude, I just drove past that, and it was so hot. And then you said something along the lines of, yeah, that's how fire works. And I thought that was so funny.
Dude, well, I don't actually remember saying that part. I just remember that's the only time. I've seen plenty of vehicles turned over and stuff, but that's the time I saw one engulfed in flames. So I remembered that.
Yeah, it was.
But
it was crazy.
I'm glad I was able to relate to you how fire works. And there's a water cycle, there's
mind.
also a fire cycle, and you experienced it that day.
Don't I know it, man? And you would hope that the water cycle made a little baby with the fire cycle that day and saved
a smoke cycle.
A smoke cycle. There it is. All right, dude. I want to thank you for having my back today. Those 3 times I was not funny when I tried to be. So that meant a lot to me. It felt good to be back, and it felt good to be giving this podcast my all. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank the Rat Pack for sticking with us. Keep listening. Find us on Instagram. Find us on TikTok. Tell your friends. If you haven't left a 5-star review on anywhere that you can leave a 5-star review,
we're gonna come and find that. Oh.
Well, what I meant to say is we're gonna come and find you and teach you a thing or two about being good friends, because we want to be your friend and we want to earn that 5 stars from you. But if not, just give us a 5-star and we'd appreciate it. Tell your friends. If you work in PR, we'd love to talk to you. Send us an email, untilweagree@gmail.com. Are you kidding me? Shouting out the email live on air. What an episode. This is it. This has been Until We Agree.
This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Post credits. There was a post credits for Superman, and I wish I had not stayed and watched it.
But it was a waste. It was one of those throwaways.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Kind of like this post credit.